We have determined that you are guilty. Please come with me. What am I guilty of? Who proves that? Sir, the Bible. What Bible charges me with the crime? I have 7 sins here. You can pick any one you like. Man, what the heck is this? Hello, dreamers. Remember me? It's Lander. Inside Out is about to hit theaters soon, right? I think I need to start pushing all my theories onto the channel gradually. Have you ever thought about sins? Which emotion inside us decides what sins we commit? Are these emotions as simple as they seem? Or could they be demons? The princes of hell? Sounds fascinating, doesn't it? Welcome back to the Theory Hub, where we tell you about things that definitely won't happen, but at least it's interesting. First, let's understand what the 7 deadly sins are. Humans are far from perfect and often commit mistakes in life going against the moral teachings of God. Among those sins, there are 7 that everyone falls into and that can turn a person into someone wicked. These 7 deadly sins are envy, wrath, sloth, gluttony, lust, greed, and pride. These 7 sins represent the clearest view of human vices, things considered anti-God and need to be eradicated to bring a person back to righteousness. However, since these are the sins of humanity and not any individual, essentially everyone has these 7 sins within them to some extent. These 7 sins are personified and create the 7 most powerful demons of hell, known as the 7 princes of hell, including Lucifer, the sin of pride, Mammon, the sin of greed, Asmodeus, the sin of lust, Behemoth, the sin of wrath, Beelzebub, the sin of gluttony, Leviathan, the sin of envy, and Belphegor, the sin of sloth. So how do these demons and sins relate to Riley and the emotions within her? As mentioned above, the 7 deadly sins are something everyone has experienced. These sins represent the hidden aspects of human personality that everyone falls into. When Riley was just a child, she had only the basic emotions of anger, fear, disgust, joy, and sadness. At this stage, it shows she hasn't fully developed or understood herself, and the sins haven't truly formed yet. However, placed in the context of Inside Out 2, when Riley has entered adolescence, it is the time for these sins to awaken. And these awakened sins are the embodiments of the new emotions shown in the trailer. And some of these sins are even deeply hidden within the old emotions we saw in the first movie. First sin, envy. There's no need to debate much here. Envy is clearly envy. This seemingly harmless little character is actually quite devious. Don't let her appearance fool you. Envy has never been a good thing. Jealousy isn't just a bad emotion. It's a significant toxin in the brain.
We're basically the same person.
The reason envy is depicted as such a small character is twofold. First, it could be because Riley is just entering adolescence, so her jealousy isn't fully developed yet, hence envy's small size. And second, envy's small stature reflects the idea that people who are always envious of others' possessions often feel small themselves. Though she appears tiny and cute and doesn't show much danger in the trailer, her inherent personality trait already poses a significant threat. As we've seen, it's not envy, but anxiety, who leads the new emotions and oppresses the old ones with her tyrannical rule. This tyranny will make envy jealous of anxiety's power and desire to take her place. Initially, envy is too small and powerless to challenge anxiety. But remember, Riley is at the age where she might start having crushes, and the person she likes is the most popular girl at school, Valentina. So Riley's jealousy might grow immense when faced with her rivals, causing envy to grow larger and eventually overthrow anxiety. Overall, she has great potential to become the final boss of the movie, the deadly sin she represents. Second sin, sloth. Ennui.
That That's ennui.
On what?
Not much dialogue in the trailer, not much role in the uprising. Ennui is basically bored with everything, losing excitement for anything. This inadvertently makes him lazy and inactive. In general, I think ennui isn't a significant threat to Riley or the other emotions. But who knows? Disney doesn't include any character without purpose. So we can still expect that aside from representing the deadly sin of laziness and boredom with everything, ennui might contribute somehow to the plot. Third sin, lust, embarrassed. The case of embarrassed is quite interesting. Why do I think embarrassed is the sin of lust? Because he looks like a creepy pervert? Of course not. I actually like this guy. I even think he's not really embarrassed, but another emotion. Why do I say that? Pay attention to embarrassed, its color. He's pink. As we know, the color of each emotion represents what they stand for, but does pink really represent embarrassment? I assert no, pink culturally represents love and healing. I believe embarrassed is actually love, but he doesn't realize it. However, someone else does recognize his true identity, and that's anxiety. Taking advantage of embarrassed's naivety, anxiety plants the idea in his head that he is embarrassed, not love. Because if love appeared in the control center, he would naturally become the dominant emotion, which is very dangerous for anxiety's power. And as everyone knows, love is always linked with lust, right? So it's not surprising that embarrassed represents lust. People often feel embarrassed when talking about sexual matters, don't they? Fourth sin, wrath, anger. I probably don't need to say much about anger. He's just simply always angry. However, the theory I propose next is truly worth noting. Anger might switch sides in the movie. Anger is an extremely important emotion for Riley. A person might not know joy, might not know sadness, but without the ability to get angry, they can't protect themselves. Anger is a crucial element to protect Riley from danger. So he will be prioritized by the new emotions to come back first, and he might switch sides to become a deadly sin. Fifth sin, gluttony, disgust. I know it's quite a stretch, but disgust might be the most fitting character for this role. Of course, disgust isn't gluttonous. She's actually quite picky because she's disgusted by everything. However, this pickiness makes her a selective foodie, becoming the most accurate critic. And if you notice, disgust is always the dominant emotion at Riley's meals. Greed, anxiety. As proposed in the previous video, new emotions like anxiety, ennui, or envy are likely to be phased out and disappear as Riley reaches adulthood. As you've seen, the adults in the movie don't have these new emotions. So, the lifespan of these new emotions is limited to Riley's adolescence. Not wanting to disappear so quickly, anxiety harbors the ambition to expel the original emotions and, along with the new emotions, take their place to avoid being eliminated as Riley grows up. Her greed for eternal life is clearly a manifestation of greed within anxiety. Additionally, her becoming a tyrant who manages to control the workers and becomes the ruler inside Riley's mind shows her immense hunger for power. So it's no surprise that I consider anxiety to be greed, right? And the final sin, and the one that will shock you the most. Seventh sin, pride, joy. Who doesn't like joy? She's cheerful, adorable, and always positive in every situation. So, does Joy have a sin? Yes, and that sin is extremely evident from season 1. Joy's overly proud of her status and abilities. Riley's happiness is always linked to joy, and joy is Riley's happiness. The other emotions also want Riley to be happy, so they often let Joy take the lead. But it's also because of this that Joy has developed arrogance within herself. She considers herself important and the other emotions not as necessary. Especially sadness. Throughout season 1, sadness is the main victim of Joy's arrogance. The clearest example of this arrogance is when they were finding their way back to the control center. Joy decided to leave sadness behind.
I'm sorry. Riley needs to be happy.
This unintentionally proved that Joy is extremely arrogant about her status and doesn't care about sadness. And that's our theory on Are the new emotions actually the deadly sins? Will the theory that these emotions are the 7 deadly sins play a role in the upcoming movie's plot? We can't be sure just from the trailer, but we can look forward to Disney's potential hidden messages, right? If you think this theory is cool, comment number 1 below the video. If you disagree and have your own opinion, please share your thoughts below as well. And if you want to see more videos on any topic, let us know so our team can better understand what you're interested in. And that's all. I'm Lander from the Theory Hub. Have a great day!